Hello, class. It is Kayla. This is take number 5. Please bear with me. I hope your quarantine's going pretty okay. I'm stuck in Maryland. I was supposed to be back in North Carolina about 2 weeks ago, but obviously I'm not there yet. So, I had chapter 12, Celebrate the Values and Victories, and my section in particular was Be Personally Involved. Ooh. Um, so, the main thing that stuck out to me, which was also one of the first things mentioned, was practice what you preach. Everyone's heard practice what you preach. It's something we should all do that not all of us do. If we do, it's not all the time. It's difficult to practice what you preach. Um, when it comes to sending messages throughout the organization, the best thing that is communicated is watching what a leader does. When a leader does something good or different, it is noticed. It is noticed what the leaders do because you are supposed to watch them. They are supposed to lead by example. They are supposed to practice what they are preaching. And to be a good leader, you should also develop a culture of celebration and recognition. Celebrate the small wins, small victories, as we had said a couple chapters before, and we should recognize when somebody is doing good. Again, that small victory. When they do something well, recognize it. Don't just sweep it under the rug and say, great job, keep it going. Dedication and involvement from the leaders gains the respect and the trust of their teams. Whether it's a company setting, a restaurant setting where you have a manager and you're one of the employees, a professor, and their students. Either way, that dedication and that involvement makes the students want to work more. When my teachers, my professors are very involved and dedicated in their teaching, I learn a lot more. I'm very hands-on, so that also helps, but I learn a lot more because they are so involved, and that just speaks to me that they want us to learn rather than fail. And it's a good thing to have as a leader, just to be there, be involved, celebrate the small wins, celebrate. So the next small section I had that was within the first one, be personally involved, was show you care. People don't care about how much you know until they see that you care about it. I could talk to you all day about dogs, but until you see how much I actually care about the dogs, you won't really care about what I'm saying. Like I could say, dog's great, dog's cool, blah, blah, blah. But if I were to tell you, I care greatly that like street dogs are taken care of, animal shelters are taken care of so that dogs have a chance to live, then you're like, okay, like maybe I'm a little interested now. I see what you're saying. I kind of care about that as well. But if I just say I like dogs, almost everyone likes dogs. It doesn't shape what I'm trying to say. Um, Showing that you care also makes you a recommendable leader. So, for example, my boss from work, I wait on tables. She's my manager. She's the top manager. I respect her greatly and I look up to her for a lot. She has taught me a lot, and every time I have an assignment where it is give an example of a good leader or give an example of a captain, what are the traits that you look for? I always put her. She's always by our side. She helps us with anything. She doesn't take the fact that she is the top dog for granted. She will hop in and do anything. She will hop in and cook, help wait tables, help host. She will do anything and everything. And I really look up to her for that because no job is too small. So example from the book. I have Peter Maher of Maguire Bank. And from what I understand, this is mostly an Australian company. But what had happened was they were closing the branches in America. And instead of just sending a letter or a newsletter, flyer, an electronic version pretty much, or just an email, anything. Instead of sending a very small way of saying your branches are closing, you won't have a job, he decided to fly to America, and he sat down with 100 of the company's employees and told them very straightforward what was happening, why it was happening, what is going to be done because of it. And he said it was a very painful conversation to have with those employees who were basically losing their jobs. But it was more about how he did it and not what was happening. So it was about how he went about it. He sat them down, answered all of their questions, talked to them, and he was real. He was very real with them on what was going on, as opposed to sending an email. An email just says, sorry, you lost your job, without any explanation. But he went, he talked to them, answered their questions, kind of settled the way they were feeling a little bit. To continue on with show you care, when a leader is shown to be pretty much uncaring, they don't care, the employees won't work as hard. Again, going back to my example from work, when that one boss that I have, when she's working, we all work to our highest 100%, 110%, because we know it's not necessarily like a threat. If we don't do well, she'll notice, but we want her to see us doing well. Because when she sees us doing well, she's happy, we're happy, everyone's happy, we're doing our jobs correctly. But there's the managers that are under her, and when they're working, they're not very caring or very nice. So most of us will do the bare minimum, and I admit that. Even I do it. When they're working, I do the little that I can, so I don't have to handle them. I don't want to speak to them. I don't want to have any issues. So I don't care. I don't care when they're working. A lot of us don't care when they're working. But when that one boss is working, we all do the most. We care about what we're doing because she cares about what she's doing. They don't care. We don't care. The more real you are, the more genuine, approachable, the more human you seem real. Our generation likes to use the word fake a lot. We call people fake. You are fake. You are fake. That's probably because they're not being very genuine. They're saying things they don't mean. They're doing things they don't mean. They're not practicing what they're preaching. To be real, you're practicing what you're preaching. You're very genuine. You're approachable. As this says, you seem very human. You seem real. You have emotion. You care. That's what anybody really wants, is that you care. And being the leader being where the team is, or the team being where the leader is, both mentally and physically, can help either or develop a plan or work better, communicate better. When the leader can see where his or her team is, he can help figure out what's going on with them. When the team can see where the leader is, they can see, okay, this person has this issue, or this person is expressing this opinion. What can we do to help and fix it? And to go along with show you care, doing simple things, saying hello, showing interest. Hey y'all, how's it going? Just interest. I see you've picked up knitting recently. How's that going for you? Is it helping with your work? Things like that. Another example from the book, there was this woman who worked for Citibank. She was a manager, and she would, to show that she cared as a manager, she would check on everybody, do little things, as we were talking about. She showed interest in their lives. She would just check on them, say hello, very friendly, very kind, very caring about each of her employees. Spreading stories. This is yet another subsection. which I think is very important. Spreading stories. I love spreading stories. I love stories. When you're telling a story, it should be from the I perspective, not the I heard it from so-and-so perspective or so-and-so said. When you say, I experienced this, I went through this is my perspective, you are going to be more listened to and respected. You're able to give that, as it says, up close and personal feel to you doing something. You feel it, they can feel it. It's just a vibe. They feel what's going on. Your values become alive in the vibe. That's my new saying, alive in the vibe. You're showing what is happening or what is there, what could be going on, and then what should be if there's an issue. There's many different ways to spread the stories: newsletters, public ceremonies, TV, social media. That's a big one with our generation is social media. We share everything, we find out everything through social media. Another example would be from the book, Dustin Schaefer. He was in a conference call with a lot of others from his company, and the VP of the company called him out in a good way and said that, congratulated him on beating a top competitor with their company. And he said that connected his win in a way that was collective for the company. So that helped not just him, but the company feel better. Not better, but more confident. It helped their confidence. And well-told stories are more effective in reaching people's emotions to pulling them along. If I tell you a story and I don't really know all the details, you're probably going to get bored and you won't care. If I'm telling you a story about anything and I'm giving you details and showing emotion, you're going to pay attention and you're probably going to want to know what happens next, like a good book. If a book's boring, you don't want to read it. You read 2 pages and forget you read about it. But if it's really good, you can't put it down. That's what it should be like, listening to a leader tell a story. Making celebrations part of life. Celebrate the small things. This one's going to be really short. Celebrate the little things. Put them on the calendar. Started a company, put it on the calendar. You got welcomed into a company, put it on the calendar. You got a new job, put it on the calendar. Praise those who did the most, put that on the calendar. A way to draw attention to core values of your organization, put it on the calendar, celebrate together. That is very important. To continue with that, celebrations, like I said earlier, can be together. They don't have to be about one person or one accomplishment. They can be about many. You do this, great job. You all do this, great job. Good or bad, gathering to acknowledge someone or something that made a difference is memorable. It's more memorable than, again, like an email or a newsletter. Taking action. Celebrate the values and victories. Celebrate together, like I said. Don't be the place where fun goes to die. That's like how it is with my managers at work that nobody likes. It is a place where we go and we just honestly just want to die sometimes. Appreciate other people. Tell stories of previous accomplishments to give them something to look forward to. And our activity. This one's fun. So many of you have seen the Netflix original documentary, Tiger King. For those of you that have seen it, I would like you to leave a comment on your post about who in the show seems like they are personally involved in their company with all of these aspects that I have given you. Whether it be really good personally involved or they just seem like the worst personally involved person in the world. Preferably good. And those who have not seen it, totally fine. This just kind of gives a little fun to this quarantine sadness. Excuse me. Or if you just want to opt out of it because you don't like it or don't want to be a part of the craze, I just want you to share an instance in your life where you've been with a company or had a leader who was personally involved. So that's all I've got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you all watch Tiger King because it's really good. And I hope you have a great rest of the semester. Good luck with everything. I wish you all the best.